So, sir, I mean, times have changed. Gender fluidity and words like that are sort of used now. So, would you say that the perception that society has about male dancers has evolved for the better?
See, what is this perception? Because if you go into the history of dance, there are many dances which were done by male only. It was later that the women came into the picture. So whether you talk about the Gotipuas or you talk about the Kuchipudi dancers, male dancers, and all that. So it's not that. It is the bhakti that is there in the person, and that passion for that form that that person is bringing out. And for that, what does a male or a female have to do in this? See, today in the society, you have wonderful dancers. Like I mentioned, Vaibhav Areka, Parshvanath Upadhyay, then PV Aditya, Utiya Barua, Avijit Das. These are all dancers who are dancing and taking that form forward. I mean, whoever that person is does not belong to that space. He should leave and go into some other space. Maybe sit in some Bollywood dance and watch that, not come to a classical. This definitely, of course, in a way, you can say it is not for the masses. It is for a certain set of people who can understand the depth of that. But I think it should be for the masses also, so that it builds the interest for everybody to come into this field. Because if you keep saying it's not for the masses, it's not for the masses, let them decide. Let them come and practice, let them come and learn. And at some point of time, if they feel, oh, this is too overburdening, then let them leave. But let them get the taste of it. Unless you taste anything, even if it is food, unless you put it in your mouth and your senses tell you what it is, you will never be able to judge it. So don't judge it without first, even as an audience, we always say, even the audience should do a little homework before they come to any performance. When they come there, why don't they say, okay, today I'm going to see Utiya's performance. What is he going to be dancing on? Is he going to be doing a Tilana or a Varnam? So what is a Varnam? What is a Tilana? Let me try and find out what it is, not just what the announcer is saying. So when they come there, when the dancer comes on stage, you realize, so you understand why they're doing that. Don't immediately, oh, he dances like a feminine, or he dances like a girl. But he's supposed to be doing that at that particular point of time. So he will do that. He cannot be doing something else. Or when a lady comes on stage, oh, she's too masculine. That is a wrong statement to do, because everybody is structurally different. And when they do something, it is your perception. So, I mean, it is not that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so the beholder can make any kind of statement. But you should understand, maybe do a little more homework before you come to a performance. So then you can appreciate it. And then you can understand it and enjoy the program. And not sit and, oh, see, that guy is peeping out of the wings. Oh, look at that lady, she's standing and talking there. Or you're talking to your person who's sitting next to you and saying, what are you going to do after this performance? Then why have you come here? Don't do that. You've come to a performance, you've come to an art form which is thousands of years old, and you've come to watch the present generation carry that forward for you and for your children. Because if they didn't do that, it would not exist. So let them do what you are not doing. They are sustaining the art form. They are actually bringing this art to you and your children. So enjoy it. And male dancers today, I mean, there are many, like when I look at names, I put down a few names because I wanted to say, like in Ahmedabad, we have Maulik Shah, then Praveen Kumar in Bangalore. Of course, I mentioned Aditya and Parshvanath Upadhyay, Utiya, Avijit Das, Vaibhav I mentioned. And even somebody like Deepak Majumdar, who's there in Bombay, who's a senior artist. He's, nobody can be as graceful as him. When he comes on stage and when he gets into that lasya aspect, wow, you wonder, okay, how can somebody be so graceful? So male dancers are doing a fantastic job. They are in the right dominion, and there is no dominion. Art is open. There's no barrier for anybody. There is no language for anybody. Anybody who's ready to dedicate themselves and have that passion should get into it. And if they get into it, please do justice and not really do anything. Like, of course, there is a bad side to it also in the market today, where there is dance is used as a kind of a factory. but I don't want to get into that because that's not my forte. But there are still wonderful male dancers and female dancers. I would say dancers. Let's not categorize them and say male and female. There are dancers who have dedicated their life in this and they're doing a wonderful job.
Think, I mean, it couldn't have been put better. I think these words are going to remain etched in the minds of our Rasikas. You had earlier mentioned how it's a challenge sometimes to convince parents of your students to sort of, because somewhere down the line, we start looking at the livelihood opportunity that art provides. Again, if it has to bring food to the table. So, as a person who is leading an institution, how do you sort of approach this problem, especially with male students, or vice versa when it's with women?
Say, yes, when it comes to the livelihood, of course, you would say that the male student matters because normally they are expected to be the earning member of the family. But what I have been doing in JG College of Performing Arts as the vice principal there in the month of May, June, and July, like I said, because that's the time when the results are coming out, parents want to know what to do with their child. And many of the children say, okay, I want to go into performing arts. So they say, no, 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 you can't go into performing arts. So the child comes to me. I said, no, bring your parent because I know you are passionate about it, but they are not. So let me try and convince them. And what I have to say is today, people who've done engineering, people who've done MBA, people who've done many other, except for maybe doctors who do get a job, but there are a lot of engineers, there are a lot of MBA students, there are a lot of computer application students, there are a lot of commerce students, a lot of art students, that is when they go into English literature and all that. After all this, they don't get jobs and they expect a big package, they expect a big pay scale, and they're not doing it. And it's not because they've not been a good student or they've not been an intelligent student or they've not reached to that percentage that was expected out of them. But at the end of the day, when the child passes and goes out, I don't think now today the percentage matters. What they want to know is the aptitude of the student and what that student is capable of. And being a human being matters first. It is how you present yourself to a person. And I think if you get into any art form, the first thing that happens to you is there's a total makeover of the person and he becomes a beautiful person. He becomes a beautiful human being. So once you have that in you and then you pursue something passionately, and supposing the parent puts that child because he likes music well, or he likes dance, or she likes dance and music or drama, then instead of putting them into science and all that, where they don't like physics, they don't like chemistry, but because the parents have said, okay, they're put into that college and they don't get percentages, they fail, they go through 80 KTs and eventually they pass that. And by the time they finish their course, they're also depressed. They're not very happy about what has happened. And then what? The market has nothing for them. But today, thanks to, though everybody talks about Bollywood and, the trend that has changed the industry and all that, I think that has also helped the industry because all these reality shows which are bringing out small children with extremely wonderful talent. When people see that, they said, oh, wow, look at that child singing or look at that child dancing. So they feel interest. And then they come with this child to the college and say, she dances very well in front of the TV. She imitates that person and dance. She's an extremely good dancer. So I wanted to do classical dance. I said, no, that is different. This is different. Let's talk about that first. But because of that, the parents are slowly opening up to this. And there's more opportunity for all these people who get into this field because of this, the television boom. And a lot of our children, of course, it is difficult because any field, if you're not in that, that category of the best, then you can never survive in any field. So as an artist also, just because today you get a beautiful review doesn't mean that lifelong you're going to get a beautiful review. Tomorrow the critic may say, oh, that person was really bad. What is he doing on stage? So every moment is for you to go on. Riyaz is very important. Practicing is very important. And go on being in that field. If you do that, then you can be a good artist. And if you do that, see, like I always tell these parents, another question they ask me is, what after 3 years? Will they get a movie? Will they become a hero in a film? Or will they become a big star? I said, that's not my job. I'm not an event manager over here. I'm belonging to a performing arts college, and my job and the college's job and the teacher's job is to give them the basics of what that particular art form is, make their base very strong, whether it is theater, whether it is music or dance, the theoretical side and the practical side. And then after 3 years, if they continue with masters, they become a little more knowledgeable. So when they do that after 5 years, at least I can say that that student, if he's standing on stage or she's standing on stage, would be much better than somebody who's looking at a TV or going for these 1 hour evening classes. And just because it's not that teacher's fault or the student's fault also. It is like, against the 5 hours every day that you get in the college, the 2 hours that you get in a private class in the evening does not make you a complete artist. Even this 3 years or 5 years is not enough to make you a complete artist, but it is enough to get you the right direction and the right feeling for that particular form, so that it guides you and tells you, okay, this is the path, follow it and do it dedicatedly, then you'll be a good artist. So when I say that, and I say, see, my students, when they come to the second year, we have youth festivals, we organize our own events of showcasing the talent of the students. We invite the audience to come from, that is the general public from Ahmedabad, to come and see. So a lot of directors, a lot of producers, a lot of other artists come for this. And then when they say, oh, okay, that girl dances very well, or this boy is a good actor. So I get calls from them saying that, would you allow them to, come and join our company? Can they? I said, of course, I have no problem with that. And that's another thing, when we started the college, because of the university rules, I guess it is a standard rule that if you're studying, you're not supposed to do anything outside. You to totally dedicate your time there. But what I feel is that the four walls of a classroom is not enough to mold you as a complete artist. And again, we have dance, we have drama, we have music. So if I'm getting into dance, if I say I want to only see dance, I don't want to see anything else, that also will not make you a complete artist. Because if you're a dancer, you have to remember there is a musician on your right side who's singing for you. And if that musician doesn't care for you, your performance is not going to be nice. If that mridangist doesn't care for you, he'll go for a toss. You will not be able to match with him. So it is all interlinked. It is all interconnected. Even watching paintings, even watching sculptures, the visual art and the performing arts, everything. If you look into everything, at some point of time, when you start doing your own work and creating your own work, at that time, all these factors help you. So, I tell them that when they join the college, if somebody is taking admission in drama, it doesn't mean that he's going to be only an actor, because we have many other factors in that. We have direction, production, stage management, lighting, set design, costume design. And many times all these students have come, they have all not opted for acting. Somebody would say, sir, I want to go into lighting. So can I work with the lights? Can I work with the costumes? Can I work? And they go forward from that. There is a student from drama who's now doing very well as a makeup artist, because he's learned that while he was here. He learned it from other people also. And today he's doing very well as a makeup artist. So there are a lot of allied fields in the same thing, where when the student comes there, they have more options than an engineering student or a BCA student or a BBA student. So if they come here, they work seriously, they will do well. And I tell the parents, if they do well in the second year and third year when they're doing performances for the audience, people watch them, they want them. And they say, okay, please ask them to come and join our company. So in that way, there are a lot of our students who are working with other directors, other producers, other dance gurus, and even part of their company. Because today, one thing is there, it's like a lot of the girls, they get married and they go and dance as the end of the story. So, there is always a kind of a circle that new students keep. You have to go on molding new students for the part of your repertoire and your company. So all these people get the chance for that.
I'm sure that's debunked a lot of myths that anybody must have been harboring about how lucrative a career in arts is. Krishna